Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, January 6, 2017, 12:09 a.m. Birmingham. Topic, this is part 2, Be Not Deceived. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you didn't know, what a cubit is. A cubit equals to 1.574 feet. And that comes to 472 feet. Giants, according to the Bible, in the days of Noah, were as tall as cedars. The cedars in the days of Noah were 500 feet tall. So these giants that were 300 ells is 472 feet. It's pretty big. And they ate everything, all that man could grow. And then that couldn't sustain them because there were just so many of them and so big. So they started eating animals, and they ate all the animals. They'd have to wound them to eat them and drink their blood. And then God told an angel, Raphael, I believe was his name, let the giants eat each other. So the disembodied spirit demons are the disembodied spirits of these giants. They have no souls. Soul is the only part of a being that lives for eternity, that has a worm in it, that lives forever. Spirits do not. Their flesh, rot, go away, but they still linger. And they cannot, a spirit cannot become flesh. An angel can. An angel can change into anything it wants. So it can materialize, and it can be very attractive to you, very friendly. You probably sit down, you probably see them. If you walk out your doors and go to the supermarket, you see angels. And it's not likely that you see anything that's called a demon spirit. You're not going to see that. Now, you will hear that because they do enter a lot of people. And I'm going to get to that before I finish up this round, this part and another. And so that was the first punishment to the remaining fallen angels, watcher angels, to watch their children eat each other alive until they were gone. And but another thing, God said that the end days, our day, Revelations, says it is worse than any time has ever been. As in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man, but worse. How can it possibly get worse than that? This is very key to be not deceived. And I know you're all waiting for that. I said not, a lot of you already know, but some of you don't know. And so what the Pope supposedly were discussing was a date. When were they going to tell the world about the aliens? But keep in mind, the aliens are no such thing. They are fallen angels. They're good angels, they're bad angels. And both fly around in these UFOs. We call them UFOs because we don't know what they are. But both of them, the good and the bad, fly around in these aircraft or these craft. So I want you to know that. Not all that you will see at disclosure will be bad. And but as far as how many, I don't know. I am clueless. There could be 100 bad to 1 good. be 100 good to one bad. I don't know. But it's the bad that I'm worried about. So the Pope and others discussed when to disclose. If you recall, 3 years ago, Obama wanted to do the grand disclosure then, and they stopped him. And I'll let you remember this or tell you about this. Do you recall when the spiral over Norway and everybody kept calling it a rocket went out of control and baloney, I mean hogwash? You don't have a missile that spins in that manner and then stops and then spins in the opposite direction. And then as it spins the opposite direction, it absorbs the trail of smoke that it left from the fuel burning. This is what happened on this spiral when it went up, and it's just ballooning out, and then all of a sudden you can see it reverse on the inside, and then as it reversed, then this spiral just gets swallowed up. That was a portal. That portal opened, and from where their vantage point was, Obama watched something come out of and go into that portal. He was told to shut up, and he did. But that's what happened there. And the disclosure is coming. And look, I'm baffled, very, very extremely baffled by what's going on today with we really get a man in here, and some of you don't agree, I'm sure, but I think Trump is prophecy. I think since he was in prophecy multiple times and also in the Torah codes, I think that's prophetic. And I think that's of God, by God, from God. So I think Trump is truly here to help us get out of our mess that we've got into, or that Obama got us into. Anyway, could this be at a time to interrupt what Trump has to do? I don't know. I gathered by hush. In other words, when Missler hit the table, no, 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 I think he was really, in a way, hushing up Derek. Look, we don't know this for a fact, so don't tell it for a fact. But it's just kind of what we think we heard, or think we were told, or believe what somebody else said. So that's where I believe that came from. But the fact is, there's supposed to be a disclosure of some type. You hear one guy say, these are going to come and I'm going to baptize them, says the Pope. And then other people say the Pope's ready to admit that they're all bad. Well, see, that's wrong. They're not all bad. They're good angels that's flying around in these craft, and they're bad angels that are flying around in these craft. So the Pope can't be right and wrong in the same sentence. So I kind of overlook what he says. So Tom Horn, Chris Putnam, their book, Exo Vaticana, gives you another description of what we are about to see and how we're about to perceive it when it does come. And along with that, in Exo Vaticana, be not deceived. There it is again, be not deceived. And I gave you where to find Chuck Missler. So, and I wrote down, look, y'all, this may take center stage and hold it for a long time. During that time, these things may pop up everywhere, and I'm talking about alien beings. When they're openly here, and you won't know the good from the bad. that is part of the be not deceived. And when I get to center stage on this, then it's going to make sense for you, to you. And I'm still getting to my point, but I'm not quite there. And again, if you go read Enoch through chapter 16, then it will make so much sense on what it was like then. And then to describe our days as being worse than that, how can we even imagine that? We know it was bad then. But to be worse in our day, how can it be worse in our day? And also, I'll go ahead and get on this. You know that the Arabs, the father of the Arabs, are Ishmael. Ishmael was the first son of Abraham, but it was through his mother, not through Rebekah, or not through Sarah, Abraham's wife. It was Hagar, the handmaid, that Abraham had a child with. He was Ishmael. And God told Ishmael that you will father many nations. You're the father of the Arabs, the Arab world, the Muslim world. He didn't say Muslim, but that's who they are. So I want to make that clear. Now, another reason. Remember in the Bible, it said, in those days, right off the bat in Genesis, there were giants in those days. And talking about the flood destroyed them all. And after, keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that there are giants going to come in our day, but it does mean something that has a different DNA than what we have will come. In fact, is already here. I'm going to make a very bold statement, and this is just my mouth, nothing else, me saying this, because it is my true belief. You go back and you look and see why Sodom and Gomorrah had to be destroyed. They had Nephilim blood. They had a different DNA in them. They had man DNA, but then they had other DNA. They weren't fully human. And if they're not fully human, they don't have souls. Only God can make a soul. Man, angel, fallen angel, good angel, nothing can make a soul. Only God. So they had to destroy these cities, 4 out of 5. And the reason is the judges, and I told this story before, you've heard it before, gave them a right, because no one opposed it, to have sex anywhere, anytime you want. They even put a bed in the street in Sodom and Gomorrah, a bed in the street. And if a man were to walk a certain distance, it could be 20 feet of that bed or 30 feet, legally, that person could be taken, put on that bed, and raped by man. That's why it's so bad today in the Bible. You know, when laws on the book now approves of gays, that's Sodom and Gomorrah days, guys. Think about that. It's back to those days. I mean, it's not happening in the streets, not yet. But I've reached my point on the second one, and the next one, I'm going to try to wrap it. And when I tell you what it's about, I promise you, and some of you may have guessed, but most of you may not have, because it still shocks me. It still scares me. It still worries me. It really does. I promise you, as being a Christian, first time in my life, being a Christian, that I fear. And it's a very legit fear, because it's too easy. What I'm going to tell you, it's too easy to be deceived in this manner that I'm going to talk about in a moment. Jody Wolf Expoz.